distinctly and clearly when observed with the strength of visual power. When the yogi restored the third eye, the dynamic activity in its highest essential nature of oneness with Paramashiva, then whatever object, in whichever places, highest dimension in whichever form, wherever, in whichever place or time, in whichever state or dimension, that time or object at once appears and manifests in that very nature, by the way, the very nature of strategic existence. All that matter that exists, that we know, is static matter. That Bhagavan beautifully says how everything as a matter is also frequency. When people asked Bhagavan, what do you see from the stage when you see a big crowd of people? Bhagavan beautifully explains that he sees as frequency, not as just the materialistic world. He can see it as materialistic world also, but he sees it as frequency when he is working and initiating. The frequency for us to catch the higher states of consciousness, the higher dimension, how we exist. In the deep sleep, for example, we are creating, we are lying down, but we are able to create the people that we want, the materialistic world we want, and even the fears and the whatever is happening in the dream as our reality. But when we wake up, we know it is just a dream. It is like a laser beam, Bhagavan calls it. How a laser beam is shot and the whole play is done. And when the laser beam is shut down, then the whole light is gone, everything is gone. Same way, our life, whatever we perceive in our life is only equaling to the laser beams, the materialistic world, which is manifested as per our strategic existence, as per our will. The static matter, Paramashiva, when it becomes as a manifestation that we are perceiving, becomes Para Shakti. And based on what? Based on our perception, only if we know that already that exists before, that we can see. If something is not there, we cannot see. For example, an ant can see only the length and breadth. It cannot see the depth. When you take the paper which is on the ground, which has the length and breadth, and pile it on top of a paper stack, it cannot see, it thinks it has disappeared because it cannot see the next dimensions. Same, Bhagavan says, how we cannot perceive the higher dimension, we think it has disappeared. But it happens in a higher dimensions when we understand we are not just the materialistic world, we are the quantum, we are the spirit, we are the consciousness, we are Paramashiva, and Paramashiva is real. It is the original reality how we exist. The body, even the body is amputated, it does not have any problem. It does not say, where is my hand? Why did you cut my hand? All that we know that a hand is cut. When the spirit leaves the body has nothing to ask. Why did you leave me? How can you leave me at that place? How can you burn me or bury me? It never asks. Because the body disintegrates when the Paramashiva leaves the body. The Paramashiva who is manifested as our senses, the utility in our body. And the beautiful thing, the frontal lobe is called the temple because it's the conscious space where we can perceive the higher reality. When we are in the oneness with Paramashiva and the third eye opens, we can experience, Bhagavan says, the molecular change happens in our body where we can perceive the higher dimensions as quantum, as frequency, as we are the original space. In the deep sleep, when we are in the beautiful space of oneness with Paramashiva, but unknowingly, there also we have no body, no mind, no thought, nothing. But we always want that space again and again, every single day from the birth to death. That is because we are the original space, is that Brahman, that consciousness, Paramashiva. And that is what we are even now, but manifested as our reality, materialistic world. If we understand we are a matter also, Bhagavan says, we will be consciousness, we will be Paramashiva. All that we need to perceive is we are matter also. Here beautifully says the matter can be played when you understand your matter also. Like the clay dough the child plays, it makes many form. If it breaks, you can fix it. You know that. But the child doesn't know. The child cries. Same way, the materialistic world, we can start manifesting any reality we want when we understand we are quantum. It is simply understanding a cognition shift. For example, an iron piece does not float on the water, it sinks. But when you make the boat, the displacement of the water and the weight of the ship is less, so it starts floating. It is recognizing in a different way that the float of the ship happens. Same way, when you recognize the way you perceive the reality as only matter to matter also, you can start manifesting the higher reality. Bhagavan beautifully gives us much deeper cognition in the satsangs for us to understand the higher and the greater science. Beautifully, the science of how Krishna made this manifestation for Sudama. Sudama is a Brahma Rishi. He came down to live with Krishna as his closest friend. And all that he lived was at the lotus feet of Krishna. Everything and everyone and everything in his life was only Krishna. Even though he had so many dozens of children and he had no food in the house, he only thought, how would Krishna be eating? How would Krishna be doing things? How would Krishna be enjoying everything? And all the time he would only talk about Krishna and be as Krishna and see everything as Krishna. What does this happen to you when you are totally engrossed in the Paramashiva space, the beautiful space when Sudama takes the flattened rice and give it to Krishna? As Krishna ate the rice, every time he ate the rice, a castle was built and all the luxuries was poured into Sudama's place. And simply Sudama's house became a palace and all the children and all of them became very wealthy as Krishna ate the flattened rice. How does this manifest into that? How does Sudama, holding Krishna in his inner space as bhakti, transform his wealth and his abundance as auspiciousness? The beautiful space that Bhagavan says, you are not required for your life. When you remove all the inauspicious things, that is all the confusion, chaos, the materialistic world that we are engaged all the time, when you remove that, you experience the higher dimension where you understand the higher reality, how things function, how the same metal sinks and floats. You can understand when you are in the lotus feet of Bhagavan Paramashiva, our own Guru God who has come down as our Guru, the transformation not just inside, the outside world also transforms. The Jnana Vairagya Bhakti. Vairagya to start living what Bhagavan gives as Guru. Cognition shift that you need to have, why you need to do what you need to do, that Paramashiva is real, is the cognition, and holding that and surrendering yourself at Bhagavan's feet to even understand these cognition simply raises us to the higher reality. Bhagavan beautifully explains how we can manifest higher dimensions in our life.
You are a karma yogi. You are a karma yogi. You are living perfect enlightenment. In this fourth part of the Ankriya, I am making your senses into circular, not linear. Circular. Please understand. Energy should not be constantly going out. It should be redirected, diverted inward. That is the reason I am asking you to get into the Shambhavi Mudra. Some books say name of this mudra in some other way. Don't bother, whatever is the name. Know the technique, that's all. There are 3-4 names used for this mudra in different books. Thumbs in your ears, index finger and ring finger on the eyes, index finger and middle finger on the eyes, ring finger on the nostrils, and little finger on the lips. Your palms on cheeks. Plus, with intense intention, sankalpa, to divert all the energy going out through these 5 senses inward and hit your root center, where the Kundalini is sleeping, where your potential energy is sleeping, so that the Kundalini energy is awakened, the cycle of energy starts happening in you. Please understand. Once you connect this cycle, after that, whether your senses are open or closed, the energy leakage will not be there. There will not be energy leakage. It will just be cycling inside. Diverting the energy inside. Understand, when the energy is diverted and reconnected, there will not be not only any leakage, it will go on getting built intensely, like a transformer. See, when it circles again and again and again, the intensity gets built. Intensity gets built very clearly when you reconnect and stop allowing the leakage. That is the reason I'm asking you to divert the whole energy inside. When you really feel you can't hold your breath anymore because you lock all five senses, you can't hold the breath anymore, then stop. Allow the breathing to balance itself. Open your nostrils. Maybe for 10 seconds, you don't breathe or breathe out. Allow the body to breathe by itself and exhale by itself and balance itself. Only one important thing you need to know. If you already have high blood pressure, or if you already have any serious sickness related to lungs or any other serious illness, don't do this kriya. Because it's a strong way of forcibly diverting the energy inside. But sure way of sudden enlightenment. This process leads to sudden enlightenment. Awakening of the non-mechanical parts of the brain. The main part, this N Kriya, that locking and diverting all the energy inward, should be done at least 21 times. And the fifth part, intense humming, that is to digest all the awakened energy in your muscles. The fifth part, intense humming. It is a technique to digest all is intensely awakened. It should get converted into understanding, intelligence by your biomemory. It should become part of your muscle memory and biomemory. Only then it will stay inside you. So this humming is just to make that energy to stay inside you, get digested by the muscle memory and biomemory. The sixth part is facing the Bididi Kalpadar banyan tree. People ask me, what is the significance of facing the Kalpadar Bididi banyan tree? Understand, Bididi banyan tree is used as an energy satellite to send intense energy and spiritual experiences and everything to all of you, and to receive all your prayers and fulfill by the superconscious energy. Bididi banyan tree, the Kalpataru banyan tree, is used as the energy satellite by the superconscious energy, by divine, by God, to reach out to all of you. Please understand, even the materials which you are receiving, vibhuti, kumkum, sandalwood, paste, honey, rudraksha. Now I am going to start sending Navaratnas, 9 gems. The next is that only. Now the rudraksha is very successfully happening. So the 9 gems will start in few days. I already started getting the gems. They are ready. I am just teleporting some, at least few hundred rudrakshas. Once that becomes clear, then next starts gems. I am just collecting 1 or 2 rudrakshas which got teleported and doing the scientific test. that both are same quality and all that verification. Once that is done, the next is Navaratnas. I want all of you to know, all these objects, from the matter it becomes energy, it reaches to Bididi banyan tree, Kalpadar banyan tree. Wherever Akshatas were teleported from Madurai, it first came to this banyan tree, then to my Anandaganda. From there it travels to the disciple or a deity who is receiving. If the deity is receiving, it reaches to the deity. Or if the disciple is receiving, it reaches the Anandaganda of the disciple. Then it gets materialized in the hand. We already ordered for a scanner and some of the equipments necessary to trace these movements. In few months we will clearly scientifically prove how when some objects gets teleported, actually if you scan my body at that moment when I am saying it is moving, you can see that object entering into my body and getting disappeared to scan, that clear energy wave, that matter entering and getting dismantled and moving and getting entering into the disciple who is receiving in his Anandaganda, his or our Anandaganda, and getting assembled in the hand. We can very clearly show you. So Bididi banyan tree acts like a energy center, a relay and receiving center. Cosmos uses, the divine energy uses the Bididi Kalpavriksha banyan tree to relate with all of us.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained how we can experience the oneness with the Bididi banyan tree and manifest the powers of Paramashiva. You can sit in the direction of Bididi banyan tree and experience the oneness. The Shakshi Pramana, how the devotee has kept the Akshatas in one plate and it transformed into the other plate is clearly seen. You can wipe all the plates around. You can have a deity. You can have few cups of the kumkum, sandalwood, turmeric and Jnananjan, basma. All this you can keep it in a cup or a plate, and you can have a plain plate, and you can keep even deities or padukas and simply wipe everything, even your hands. Make sure there is nothing wet or no glitters or nothing. Completely it's clear, because it appears in any places. Still we are trying to learn the science. It appears anywhere. So the teleportation is the breath dimension. Bhagavan says, to understand the deeper reality, how we exist, not as the materialistic world, but matter can assemble as frequency and also appear as matter. When you are able to cognize this, your will persistence becomes reality. Just sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line. Bring Paramashiva, Para Shakti into your third eye. Again and again, cherish the only space of Paramashiva, who you are, the real you. Like how you go into the mirror and you enjoy seeing your face. The same thing when you are in the oneness capsule. Enjoy yourself as Paramashiva, who you are, Para Shakti, with 25 heads and 75 eyes and 50 hands, with all the Ayuda. Sit so powerfully. You are Paramashiva, you are Parashakti or Venkateshwara, you are the ultimate. Experience the oneness with Paramashiva sitting in that bhava, completely chanting the Mahavakya continuously with the deep listening. Simply you will manifest the consciousness, Paramashiva as real. You will be given the prasada to experience that beautiful space and simply unclutch from the world. How you unclutch when go to sleep. Same way, go into the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, which is also sleep, but consciously entering into sleep with powerful cognition that you are Paramashiva. Ramana Maharshi was once asked, Bhagavan, you are snoring, aren't you? When he was snoring and sleeping, the devotee asked, and he replied when he was sleeping, yes, I am snoring, and he continued to sleep. He is able to be aware of what is happening in the body, even as a deep sleep, even as a snoring, to showcase he is still alive in the consciously he enters to the sleep. We all can consciously enter into the sleep when we are chanting the Mahavakya, surrendering in deep gratitude and oneness with Paramashiva, knowing that I am Paramashiva, I am real Paramashiva, Paramashiva is real, and I am also the body, I am also the manifestation as my materialistic world. But I am Paramashiva is the existential reality. Sit with that powerful cognition that you are Paramashiva, that everything that exists as Paramashiva manifested as Parashakti. Cognize that deeply and chant the Mahavakya intensely for the power of teleportation.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva over manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Beautiful. Experience the prasada. Please take a picture. Even if you have tingling or kundalini experience or heat in the hands, or you feel something sticky All that also, please make a note. Each and everything, when you start recognizing the Paramashiva space, you start understanding Paramashiva is real. When you go to a temple, you deeply pray when you were a kid, and it just becomes reality. You are so connected with that temple. You go tell all your friends, go and pray there, you will get more marks. Simple things, but it makes you, whether you studied or not, you are in such a beautiful space that you know that Paramashiva is real during that period. That is what matters. Whether it is a huge, you're getting a pot of gold, or you are just experiencing Kundalini, you recognizing Paramashiva is real is the most important part. Your cognition shifting to Paramashiva is my reality. I am sitting and experiencing in this body also and this world also as my perception, but my very space is Paramashiva. How you enjoy yourself in the mirror. You're seeing Paramashiva in the quantum space right now on your screen. Entangle with him completely, merging into him, just being sucked by Paramashiva into the Paramashiva space, and simply you can experience the ultimate. Bhagavan says, drink the enlightenment through your eyes. That is what happens when you see Bhagavan and surrender to his lotus feet. Every time you see him, something else happens to you. Your molecular structure starts shifting into quantum and start experiencing the quantum reality. That is how the entanglement starts happening when you chant the Mahavakya with a deep listening. Let's have few more minutes or few more meditation of all the people collectively. Collective integrity that Bhagavan is speaking about is really happening right now. Chant the Mahavakya intensely and deeply surrender in deep gratitude. You're showered by Paramashiva and simply experience that bliss and that auspiciousness, and with the deep listening, continue chanting the Mahavakya for few more minutes to experience the power of teleportation.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashiva's third eye, manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Paramashivoham, 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 Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
So beautiful. Whatever Paramashiva is showing you, and so beautiful. Some of you are sharing here. Stephanie Ma has said that the glitters are appearing. That's so beautiful. Start recognizing like a child. Whoever goes to the temple, they just start jumping. Yes, I got it. Yes, I got it. Even before they have even received anything. Be in that space of oneness that Bhagavan is manifesting in you, Paramashiva space, and Paramashiva is real. Again and again, experientially understand that He is the one who's making you understand even these things. Bhagavan says, that which you cannot forget, that which you cannot remember, but that which remembers you, who you are. That is Paramashiva, which is eternal, which exists before you are born, which exists after you. And without the baggage of the mind, the materialistic world, we can reside in the ultimate space, manifesting whatever we want as auspiciousness and abundance. Such a beautiful space is Bhagwan is giving us. So thank Bhagwan, share in the tinyurl.com/power manifestation and enrich the world that Paramashiva is real, manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva. And whatever you're contributing to Kailasha and such a beautiful space that you are in, Paramashiva real, becomes reality for you. The Kailasha that you're building each time you donate, you start manifesting that as your reality. What we vote, what we believe is what we buy in the outer world. Same way, what we are offering as our contribution is what we are voting in the inner world also. So whatever you can contribute clicking the $ at the end of the YouTube, thanking Bhagwan, thanking Kailasha for all these great signs showering on us just like that. And such a beautiful space, thanking each one of you here. Hundreds of you manifesting these powers of Paramashiva, collective integrity, simply happening as reality. We are going to be having the Vakya Sadas as next section. So stay tuned and thank you so much with a deep gratitude, surrendering the powerful cognition, power manifestation to Bhagwan's lotus feet and deep earning Paramashiva as my word, thought, action and Paramashiva as my reality and Paramashiva seeing in everybody as Paramashiva, holding that beautiful powerful cognition, ending the session with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam Paduka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much. See you in the next session after the darshan or the satsang. Thank you, Nithyanandam.